Hey everybody, Libby Ulrich here with the Backstage briefing, and tonight we are backstage at the City Winery for the Girls of Nashville show with Miss Heather Morgan and Mags Duval. How are y'all?
Good. We've had a busy day getting ready for the show tonight, and it's going to be really good. And we're excited about everybody that's a guest tonight.
Yeah. And you were saying that there was at least like maybe 7 to 12 people that are showing up tonight and performing. So what does that feel like to showcase that many artists and have that community here?
I think Maggie and I were talking about it earlier. It's always just like an unexpected moments of magic that kind of happen. Like you can't predict what's going to happen, but there's so many talented girls on stage that I think just like the synergy of that is always really special. So you never know what the unforgettable moment might be, but there usually is a few that are always really defining to the night.
Is there one in particular that you remember from a past show that you really enjoyed?
Remember when Sinclair did that guitar solo?
Yes, that was amazing.
Yeah, Sinclair was incredible. She's just like not only a talented singer and songwriter, but she's just a great musician. And so she stepped out beyond like the writer round and with the band just went off on this guitar solo. And I think that's what we try to do is like keep everything kind of unexpected and not your typical writer's round. It's part of the, I think, lore of what's going on here. So, yeah, it was really cool.
Sure. And can you talk more about what this show in particular brings to the table in comparison?
This show in regards to our other ones?
Yeah, like what about this show is special to you and the group that you've put together?
Every time we try to showcase like a vast variety of women from different genres or different, from different places that have moved to Nashville, and like every show we have a different combination of women. So that's what's cool about it is you're never going to see the same show twice. So tonight in particular, like there are some artists that, we've been fans of but never heard live, and then some writers and people that'll meet for the first time, which is always really cool because people can connect at the show and not just with the audience but with each other. So yeah, I know we're really excited for that.
And what do you love most about taking a group of women that is so close to you in this community that you want to succeed and champion each other?
I think it's just watching people do what they're like purely gifted to do on stage with no like there's like no competition, and it's all about celebrating them and just giving them a place to perform and an audience that wants to hear them. And I think that's the biggest takeaway sometimes is like there is an audience that wants to hear them, and it's the just putting in all this variety of talent on stage. There's such a magic to it, and so I always look forward to kind of the synergy that happens at every show, and it's always like the best feeling after you leave and you've experienced your friends performing and just having fun.
Is there a song in particular that you remember performing with one of your friends at a Girls of Nashville show that you maybe had a writing session with and you got to perform it for this showcase?
There's a song that actually Heather and Caitlin Smith and I wrote together at a Girls in Nashville writing retreat we did in Austin, Texas, called Space that Lindsay L. recorded. Mm-hmm. And so it was cool. We played it once at the show and we sang in 3-part harmony. And so it was kind of a song that was born from the show and from this night. And then Lindsay is an incredible artist and guitar player and songwriter herself, but it was the only outside song I think that she cut for that album. So it was a really cool thing to kind of get to see all of that come full circle.
That was really special. That was gonna say the same moment. So that was really cool. We were talking about moments earlier, just that those ones you kind of just are little milestone moments, and we were talking about when Matresa Berg played like Strawberry Wine, and it's such an iconic song, and that's the other part we really enjoy about this show. It can be somebody brand new or somebody that's written like a staple song to like songwriting in general, not necessarily just country. Like we have people from LA and New York, Australia, London. Like it's had such a reach, so that's been really fun too.
I love that. And what does it feel like to go from Third and Lindsley to a place like City Winery, where it expands and you're able to bring in a larger audience to see what you've put together?
I mean, I think the most important thing for us is just keeping it a listening environment. So the fact that City Winery is like, a bigger room, but encourages like a sit down and listen to the show kind of mentality. That's the most important thing for our show that we never want to lose. It's just that people are there to hear songwriters, and they're there to listen. So that's, and everyone here is just so accommodating and so kind, and they're always such amazing hosts. So it's been cool to kind of see the show grow into this space.
And really quickly, for people that don't know, what was the inspiration for Girls of Nashville? What got it started?
It was actually just Maggie, Caitlin, and I were at a show that Caitlin played. I had opened for her that night, but Maggie had opened for her another night. She was doing a residency. And we were in this conversation just kind of circling around how we wish we could see all of our friends play. But sometimes when you perform, your friend might be having a show across town. And we ended up just coming up with the idea. The sound guy that night had a venue in town that's actually not here anymore, but he was like, it's always guys. And that's not really our thing. We're not like that guy at all. We just called a bunch of girls that month and put together a show. I think we asked 17 girls and 14 girls said yes. And we were like, it was summertime.
Okay, yeah.
So it kind of organically happened, but it was so much fun, and there was such a creative spirit in the room, and people were like, when's the next one? And so it ended up like, we got to do this again. And then it just has never stopped since. So.
And how often do you have a Girls of Nashville show? Is it quarterly? Like what's?
Quarterly mostly, yeah. That's what I would say.
Quarterly, yes.
Mm-hmm. And where can people find tickets to the show and follow along and find out when the next Girls of Nashville show is happening?
We have Instagram. It's the Girls of Nashville. And then City Winery's been our home for a few shows now. We're really enjoying that. And we're dreaming up ways to take it on the road. We'll be in New York in May for an event, and just trying to get creative about that. But we've had people come in from out of town that have caught the show, and they definitely will encourage us. Like, you didn't take it on the road, so.
I think you should too. I could see that, even like as far as like having the logo on a big bus, like sitting outside and everything, going town to town, you know.
That's a good way. We'll take it.
Well, thank you so much, and I'm so excited about the show
I'm
and
glad you could be
everything
here.
that you've got planned.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
For supporting songwriters, you do a great job at that.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And where can people follow you too?
Mine on Instagram might be the easiest. Just Heather11, and 11 is spelled out. It's my lucky number.
Mine's just Mags Duval Music, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for listening, guys. Go check out Girls of Nashville, Mags Duval, and Heather Morgan.